Fantastic. I want to say thank you all for joining us here today at the Lincoln Water Systems facility. We are so grateful to so many elected leaders and leaders from across our community who are here today. Your vision and your voices are vital to accomplish what we begin on this early summer morning. I also want to acknowledge our Lincoln Water System and Lincoln Transportation and Utilities team members. What you do every day means so much. What your everyday acts provide our growing city with water that gives life to everything, and what gives our lives possibilities and purpose. Those everyday acts have included recent acts of heroic proportions. We only need to look back to March 2019 when a bomb cyclone unleashed a cascade of consequences, including $15 million in damage to our city's nearby well fields. Your exceptional response to those extraordinary days helped ensure that our residents had continued access to safe and clean drinking water. A response in which this facility's dedicated and experienced team bravely entered a surging Platte River to open and close supply valves. A response in which team members quickly assessed water quality to ensure it met public health standards. And a response I'd like all of us to take a moment to acknowledge. Would you please join me in applauding our brave team? And as impressive as their response was, it also symbolizes the profound commitment that we bring to the work of providing a safe, clean, and adequate water supply to Lincoln. Delivering water to our residents is our fundamental responsibility. It's a fundamental responsibility past generations recognized and upon which they acted. Indeed, we stand on the shoulders of previous generations of Lincolnites who were committed to this work of ensuring a safe, clean, and adequate water supply. Work that made it possible for Lincoln, for all of us, to grow, to compete, and thrive. We can see this commitment in the yellowing pages of this booklet, published in 1930 by the University of Nebraska, and it's titled Lincoln's Water Supply Problem. Its opening pages state that all agree that a dependable water supply of good quality is one of the most important factors in the life and growth of any municipality, and especially so of Lincoln, the capital and state institution of Nebraska. The final pages of this booklet lists 12 conclusions regarding the acquisition of a non-local water source, since back then, nearly 100 years ago, the water in Lincoln was of such poor quality and diminishing quantity that this became a topic of great concern and interest. And one of the last conclusions points to a groundwater source along the lower Platte River near Ashland. And the city of Lincoln quickly acted upon this conclusion. In 1932, as is etched on the stone above the door to this building, shows that the city built its pumping station and pipeline to bring water from Ashland to Lincoln. This plant and this old booklet that helped lead to it represent the water decisions and commitments made by a past generation of Lincolnites, decisions and commitments that they made to benefit future generations. They dug in, literally and figuratively, to secure our future. Today, 92 years later, it's our turn. As we gather next to our city's present source of water, I'm thrilled to announce my administration's commitment to secure water needed to support future generations of Lincolnites, an effort we are calling Water 2.0, Securing Lincoln's Second Source. This effort will be the largest and singularly most important public works project for Lincoln's growth, health, and vitality into the future. Identifying and securing a second source of water will strengthen our economic and environmental resilience for decades to come. Decades when Lincoln will need more water to deliver our high quality of life to a growing number of residents. Lincoln anticipated to grow by 115,000 people by the year 2050. And a community who will live within the extremes of a changed climate and who will inhabit a future when the exceptional drought of 2012 could become the norm. And while current projections and plans indicate that Lincoln has adequate water supply for the next 26 years, we must begin planning now to share the prosperity we inherited with those who follow. So why now? Because this project will take decades. Because this project will span generations in terms of its service. And because this project will definitely call for an updated booklet. A booklet with two complementary parts. The first of which we are calling the Lincoln Water System Alternatives Analysis. Led by engineering firm Olson, who's here with us today, this analysis will determine the best solution for Lincoln's long-term water needs and help us navigate complex design, construction, financial, legal, and governance options. We anticipate the first phase of this analysis, the recommendation of a preferred alternative for Lincoln's next water supply, to conclude early next year. And to complement this effort, we tapped a second source of support in the form of the Mayor's Water Source Advisory Council. This diverse and broad group of business and community leaders will serve as project sponsors, providing input and recommendations critical to the successful outcomes of this project. I'm very pleased to announce that longtime water advocate Susan SEACREST has agreed to serve as chair of the Mayor's Water Source Advisory Council. Susan is an educator and the founder and former president of the Nebraska Groundwater Foundation. And Susan has also served in many federal and state environmental and water protection roles. And she was recently appointed to fill a vacancy on the board of the Lower Platte South Natural Resources District. Among her many awards is recognition by Time magazine as a hero for the planet. Please help us welcome Susan, a hero for our community too.
Thank you, Mayor. Boy, somebody did some research, I have to say. Very impressive. Thank you for that kind introduction. It is so exciting to be here with all of you today because what we're really doing is we are launching a public health project written on the largest possible canvas. So I couldn't be more excited to be part of this effort. This really does follow a long line, as the mayor alluded to, of visionary leadership in our city. Always looking forward, not looking backwards, but looking forward to new generations and their health and well-being. So, what is our challenge? It's a big one. A safe and ample drinking water for all of our citizens. But we're going to be able to get it done because of the great council that we have assembled here. The mayor has worked hard with the staff of the Lincoln Utility and Transportation Department to get Lincoln's diversity, talent, expertise, and passion for public service. Lincolnites that all have this, and I think will work very well together. We have a legacy to protect here, a legacy of care for our shared stories, for our children and youth, our natural resources, and the need to really rely on expertise, technology, science, and the ability to move forward. Ask anyone here today what they value most, and I'm going to guess that many of it would be the health of our family and the future people to come after us. I am a mother who cared about Lincoln's water and started a small organization that grew and grew. I think that is the same analogy for our work here today. We're starting today, and with our water in mind, and our efforts are going to grow and grow well into the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Susan, for your inspiring commitment and for agreeing to chair this really important council. We anticipate that the first meeting of the council will be in July. We have several other members with us today, so let's give them a warm welcome and thank them for their willingness to serve our city in the search for our second source. Please thank the Water Council. Yet another well of support is the Nebraska legislature, specifically our Lincoln delegation. And they worked hard to support the second water source project through the legislative session and will continue to be champions for us to help secure funding for the design, construction, and implementation of water transport infrastructure in the future. State Senators Anna Wishart and Senator ELLIOTT BOSTAR were instrumental in steering our request for state funding. And the city's next step is to apply to the Nebraska Department of Natural Resources to request $20 million in American Rescue Plan Act funding that they helped designate for that purpose. Senator Wishart, who is with us today, has agreed to serve on the Advisory Council, and Senator BOSTAR will serve as Vice Chair of the Council. And these state senators literally carried the water for Lincoln this legislative session, and our community is so fortunate to have their leadership, is so fortunate to have them leading on the state floor. And at this time, I'd now like to invite up for a few comments State Senator ELLIOT BOSTAR.
Good morning. Water is something that we all absolutely rely on and is essential for our own health, our survival, and the growth of our community. Yet it's also something that we all easily take for granted. We notice when it isn't there, and we notice when there are challenges. And thankfully, that is very rare. So I do want to specifically thank LTU, the water team, and everyone that works tirelessly to ensure that we have the water we need in our community. And that's what brings us here today, is the future of our community will require more water. It will require more diversification in the sourcing of our water. Our climate is changing, and I don't think that there's any disagreement on that. As the mayor mentioned, just recently we've had severe weather events that have demonstrated that our current system is fragile, and we need to prepare for the future. So as we look to the future and we plan for acquiring a second source of water, I'm certainly proud to be part of that process. This legislative session, in anticipation of the federal ARPA allocation of money to the state of Nebraska, the mayor, myself, Senator Anna Wishart, all spoke at length about what we can do from the state perspective to help this process here for the city of Lincoln. And I am really proud that we were able to secure the opportunity for Lincoln to receive $20 million for the development and evaluation of a second source of water for Lincoln. It's imperative that our community has access to abundant, clean water, and I'm honored to serve as the vice chair of this council, and I look forward to working with all of its members and working with the city largely in the community to ensure that our children and our grandchildren will be able to thrive in our community for generations to come with access to water. So thank you all very much.
Well, thank you so much, Senator BOSTAR. Through your and Senator Wishart's leadership this past session, Lincoln's pipe dream is becoming a pipe reality. As we move forward, we are so pleased to have the expertise of Elizabeth ELLIOTT, our director of the Lincoln Department of Transportation and Utilities. She is serving as the city lead on this effort, and Director ELLIOTT is with us today. She's here to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. Lincoln Transportation and Utilities leads the way in providing essential services to our community that improve our quality of lives. Dating all the way back to the 1930s, when our water system significantly expanded, our city has shown resiliency through each water supply development effort as more people call Lincoln home. These moments from the past have paved our future. Managing a growing city's water quantity and water quality year-round takes resourcefulness and heart. There are no days off when it comes to supplying the Earth's most desired natural resources to our community. You will find for our team, it's worth it. Our team members guarantee adequate water supply every day. Water conservation, plumbing and innovations, technology, regulations, and general awareness all play positive roles that contribute to the success of our growing system. But it's not just our team who make a difference. The community contributes significantly. Lincoln Water customers use 34% less water today than we did in the 1980s. In the last 10 years, Lincoln Water System has also built additional wells to increase our summer capacity by more than 30%. Our team at Lincoln Transportation and Utilities is meeting water demands at the present time, and we're ready and standing by to make sure our water future is secure. We have two potentially viable options that the Mayor's Water Source Advisory Council will research, review, and ultimately provide a recommendation on the best option to pursue. A final project plan will be available in 2023. Lincoln Water System has a long history of delivering safe, clean, and high-quality drinking water to the city's residents. We take to heart our responsibility for the health and well-being of everyone who calls Lincoln home. The alternatives analysis represents our steadfast commitment to sound policy, best practices, and the modern engineering principles to inform our decisions about the future of our water supply for Lincoln. I'm looking forward to working with Susan and Senator BOSTAR and all of the members of the Mayor's Water Source Advisory Council. Now is the time to secure our second water source. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director Elliott. We are also joined today by two members of our Lincoln City Council who will serve on the Water Advisory Council, and that's Richard McGinnis and Tom BECKIUS, two people who I consider friends and partners in our city service. They understand the importance of encouraging new ideas and innovative approaches to our water challenges. I want to thank them both for being here and ask them both to provide some remarks and to share their perspectives on this really historic undertaking. Councilman McGinnis, why don't we start with you?
Thank you. Tom, age before beauty. I want to thank the mayor and Lincoln Transportation Director, Liz Elliott, and others, and mostly the staff of the Lincoln Water. I've always been very proud of our Lincoln Water. We have visitors that come visit all the time, and I'm always saying, taste our water, it's the best. And they agree. So it's in beginning this massive effort to select a plan for a second water source for our community. Not only a second water source as a path for our future generations, but it also enhances opportunities for Lincoln to grow. And Tom and I like it when Lincoln is able to grow. Growing up in Lincoln, I'm going to take a short story and make it long. And Tom knows how much I like to talk about what used to be in town and how we were growing up. But my father had always taught myself and my brothers the value of water at an early age. My dad would take us down to the water plant, 29th and A. Well, it's actually a water and a power plant because it also powered the streetlights at that time. Well, he showed us the water plant and he walked us through on Sunday mornings, and nobody seemed to be working on Sunday mornings. And I always wondered how my dad got us in. Well, I found out at a later time my grandfather was the architect of the building, and he knew where there was a back door, how to get into the building. So instead of me having to go to church, which was great, I was able to go tour the Lincoln Water, and I was always amazed at how that system worked and all the water and the filtrations. But together we can still work on fast forward to adulthood. My good friend and mentor, past Lincoln City Councilman Joe Hampton, always said that passing a bond to expand the Lincoln Water System in the late 70s was his biggest accomplishment. This effort has stuck with me for many years, and now as City Councilman and myself and a member of the Mayor's Water Source Advisory Council, it's our turn to offer the input and help lay the foundation for a second water supply. This effort will directly impact Lincoln's long-term growth and growth in the surrounding areas. Beginning this effort now well, maybe I'll be around. I don't know. I'm the old man on the council. Will ensure future generations to receive the same high-quality water that we enjoy now. Thank you, Mayor.
Following Richard McGinnis is always a tough chore. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Liz. I look forward to working with Susan and Elliot and all of you on the advisory committee to develop and plan Lincoln's newest water source. Securing a second water source is a challenging task that'll take a lot of different members of our community, but it'll also take a lot of innovation, a lot of careful planning, and a lot of determination and grit. I'm proud to be a member of this group because it's going to serve as the public's voice throughout this process and making sure that that process is full and complete and thorough and involves the entirety of our community. Through my professional career, not just as a city councilman, but as a business person, I've had the great fortune to work with Lincoln's water resources and experience the economic power that this resource brings to a community. This essential resource is a priority not only of mine, but I know of a lot of Lincolnites and a lot of businesses as well in our community. And it's essential. This review of the technical and engineering process that we're going to be going through over the coming months and years will be vital to make sure that Lincoln continues to be prosperous and successful for not only us sitting here, not in a room, but standing outside here today, but for generations beyond us as well. So I look forward to working with all of you, and thank you again for your time and commitment to making sure that this process is fruitful and successful. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, council members. We appreciate your leadership and service and look forward to working with you, and thank you for your service on the Water Advisory Council. We know that securing a second source of water for Lincoln will also have a ripple effect on Lancaster County. So we have gratitude to offer to the county board as well, and to Commissioner Sean Flowerday for being a part of the council. He knows just as well as anyone how important it is to have a safe and sufficient water supply to help us grow as a community. And so here to share more about how the county will benefit is Commissioner Sean Flowerday.
He's a mirror. Each one of those puns getting worse. I'd like to thank Mayor Gaylor Baird and the whole LTU team, as well as our friends in the state legislature, Senator BOSTAR and Senator Wishart, who have made these efforts possible. Lincoln and Lancaster County offer an enhanced quality of life like no other. Life's good in our community. We have education opportunities, economic growth, and a family-friendly lifestyle. Our most essential needs are taken care of right there in our homes. Today I join the Water Source Advisory Council, a public advisory group where I have the honor of representing Lancaster County as our community begins its historic journey to secure a second water source. The project is important not just to the city of Lincoln, but to so many more. Lancaster County, nearby towns, villages, rural Nebraska, and surrounding areas and counties all have the potential to see economic and water security benefits from this project. Lancaster County is proud to be a partner in this. We're proud to walk arm in arm with the city of Lincoln and our state partners as we move forward to listen, to learn, and to advise. Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Commissioner Flowerday, and yeah, we'll drop the puns for now, and I just want to say something a little more serious, and that is that back in the day, in the early days of my public service, I had the privilege of serving on the Planning Commission with someone, a beloved community leader that many of you knew while he was still with us, and that was Roger Larson. And when Roger would try to get you involved in some civic purpose, and for him there were many, he would say, and what I remember him saying to me directly, is that we all drink from wells we did not dig. That phrase could not be more appropriate to this undertaking. Preserving and securing water for future generations is one of our highest callings. People who came before us dug wells so that we might drink from them. And like I said before, it's our turn now. We must act now to realize the benefit of a more secure future for our children and our grandchildren. So again, I want to thank all of the leaders who have joined us as part of this Mayor's Water Source Advisory Council. Thank you for your commitment to this historic undertaking. Thank you to Olson for your work, and ongoing thanks to our city team who perform such vital public service day in and day out. And at this time, we'd be happy to open up for any questions. I'm not sure if we have a member of the media here or not. Diane, can you help facilitate if there are any questions?
There's about a 20-second delay, so I'm waiting to see if
Okay. Yeah. It is beautiful.
I think we're good.
Okay, we have a lot of work to do. We're going to get to it. Thank you so much.